What would Jesus say today about the conservative evangelical church were he on earth today? Well, now you don't have to guess. I'll tell you how. Today on the Nonpartisan Evangelical. So I've imagined for years, what would Jesus say were he on earth about the partisan evangelical church? The first time Jesus was on earth, he didn't have very nice things to say about the church of that day. And why? Because they were nationalistic and partisan. They wanted some governmental solutions to spiritual problems. And because of that, they became very heavily religious and involved in politics and wanted to see Israel restored as it was in the old days of being the economic and military power of the world. And Jesus came to say, hey, power really isn't having political power or passing laws or doing all the things that seem important to us as evangelicals today. He was saying actually laying down your rights and being able to lay down your fight, that's where the real power is, because then the kingdom comes in and that actually overturns things in a sustainable way. In politics, we're only in charge as long as we have power, and then whatever we do gets overturned when we lose that power. And that's a man-made principle of getting there. I'm not saying don't be involved in politics. I'm saying let God breathe into what you're doing in politics. And what we see in the evangelical church today is allowing hypocrisy to come in and allowing us to start to say right is wrong and wrong is right, because we want those Supreme Court justices so badly. And I don't believe God would endorse that. I wrote this book about it. Joseph Comes to Town, when the religious right goes religiously wrong. It may look backward actually in the video, I don't know. But I want you to get this book. It's on Amazon, and it gives you just an idea of what Jesus would have said were he on earth today. And also, if you'd like to hear it in audiobook form, we're releasing the audiobook series on our Patreon page. So go to our website, Nonpartisan Evangelical, that's npepodcast.com. Click on the Patreon button, join our Patreon community at just $5.99 a month, and you can get our audiobook series. It's really cool. And so just let me read a small portion of the book to give you a feel for how it goes. In the prologue, this mysterious young man named Joseph is driving into town, and he gets passed by this old beaten up pickup, and he begins to look at the bumper stickers on the back of the tailgate of the pickup. And so it goes something like this: "America, love it or leave it," declared a bumper sticker on the truck's back end. "Do you understand the meaning of the word illegal and illegal immigrant?" declared another of the many life statements of Mr. Pickup's tattered stickers. Joseph rubbed his curly, dark brown hairs of his short beard and released a weary sigh. "Oh, Father God," he prayed out loud with an exasperated breath. "They can pry my gun from my cold, dead hand," announced the next bumper sticker as Joseph's striking brown eyes continued their tour around the tailgate. His eyes grew wide at the sentiment he saw next. It was a picture of a white-robed old man with a long white beard. The old man sported a holster with a gun on each hip with the statement, "God is pro-Second Amendment." "I wonder where he finds that in the New Testament," Joseph moaned as he rubbed his reddening eyes. The grimace on Joseph's young, well-sunned face wasn't so much a result of reading the bumper stickers. What bothered him most was the silver plastic fish, the symbol of Christianity, affixed to the pickup's bumper. Experience told Joseph the pickup driver, like so many Christians Joseph had recently encountered, believed the Christian faith represented by the fish on the bumper compelled him towards the other beliefs plastered on the tailgate. In other words, what the book is saying is I think Jesus would have come and said, hey, just because you're a Christian, it doesn't mean that you have to fight to the death for these other beliefs. And nothing in the book is going to say to you, you're wrong to have any of these other beliefs. It's going to say the approach that is man-made that makes us start to be divisive and angry, lose our ability to be peacemakers and to call out actual truth. Those are the things that Jesus would start to point out and say, hey, that's not good, because in the end, what it does is it hurts the gospel. So Joseph Comes to Town, when the religious right becomes religiously wrong, is the title of the book. And you can see more about it on my website at npepodcast.com. That's Nonpartisan Evangelical, npepodcast.com. And if you click on the Patreon button and sign up for our NPE Patreon community for a little bit of support for what we do here, you can get access to the audiobook series and my exclusive commentary of those audiobooks. and we get to have some discussion together in that as well. So sign up today, npepodcast.com. You are awesome. Love to have this conversation with you as we talk about Joseph comes to town and has the religious right become, a little bit at least, religiously wrong. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.